Widow. Shout out to Black Widow.
Yes. Oh, I got the first yes of the show. Let's do it. We got to have an episode with a yes counter, I think. I think that would be hilarious. Just the number on the screen, and that's it.
The yes.
That'll take some
yes.
actually actual editing skills to do that.
That's us when we have a much bigger production.
Yeah, we need if any of the 39 of you are interested in being an editor for us, let me know. Let me know if you got some editing skills. Like, we're good at the audio thing, but if you got some video magic, we would love to have you.
I mean, it's work in progress. We'll need a couple of things before like that all really comes into play.
Hey, it's just good to put the bug in the ear. You never know who's listening.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a couple of bugs. Not roaming around, but there's a couple of bugs that will be maneuvering. As a matter of fact, we based upon this new job I was telling you about, we may finally have our liquor sponsor.
Oh shit, long awaited.
I mean, I don't want to throw their name out there yet, but I may throw that out there towards the end of the summer. As a matter of fact, I will start my last training session this Friday. Yeah, this Friday out in Bainbridge.
I was gonna say Bainbridge is somewhere else.
Oh no.
I was like, word, they're gonna have you out there by Montefiore, handing out liquor.
Just you can catch me on the corner of Bainbridge and Ralph. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, that's a different Bainbridge entirely. That's another Bainbridge.
All day, but I mean that's the only. I know specifically that's a liquor store over there, and that's why I do my tastings. But that's neither here nor there. But stay tuned for potential endeavorers.
With that very stirring endorsement or pseudo endorsement coming. No, actual endorsement.
Just pre-marketing.
Yeah, let's manifest it. Future endeavors coming on.
It's not official because there's no names involved yet, but it's what a time to be alive.
What he's trying to say is niggas gonna be prosperous. And with that said, welcome back to the Triple P. Less than 10 minutes in, I get the intro. How nice. The Perfect Plex podcast. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary royalty. And last but certainly not least, the Schmizmars.
I mean,
always
the Schmizmars, the Xenomorphs,
Nah, chill, I don't want no face huggers in here.
I mean, but they're listening, though.
I hope so.
I always forget how to pronounce the Predator race, the Njokus, the Njakus, the Jaku.
The Predators.
Yeah, those that are those of y'all that's listening on Predator Planet. As you said, the Schmizmarts.
They might be at this point just now getting our episode about The Last Dance, possibly.
Keep 100.
Yeah.
Shit, they may actually have our lost tapes.
Maybe.
Once again, the Glip Glops. Shout out to the all the Spaceball Goonies. Shout out to the those that got locked up by Judge Dredd. Shout out to those that got locked up by RoboCop. We here for all of y'all, baby.
Yep. At least, hopefully he didn't shoot you in the dick. You know how he's prone to that.
Well, if you're still alive, shout out to you.
I'm surprised they did not have that as a brutality in Mortal Kombat 11. You had RoboCop, plenty of ample dick shooting opportunity, and there is no dick shooting brutality. What's good with that? Maybe they weren't allowed.
No, the closest they got is I guess that fatality.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I guess he also.
Well, first of all, no, that fatality is nowhere near the way they fucked him up in the movie. Let's start there.
Exactly. He
if you're gonna have it, then have it, son. His arm is supposed to be shot off. Like you said, his certain appendages are supposed to be shot off. Shit, they should have shot him. Like they should have just Mick Foley'd him and shot his ears off, son.
Yeah. Well, he does it. One of his grab brutalities is he shoots you in the hand, and like another place, and then in the head to kill you.
So that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's a brutality.
That's a brutality.
I thought that was a fatality.
But the fatality is like he calls out.
Nah, because he has the one where like the bomb.
Yeah, he blows you up.
That one. Then the other one is. All right, because now I'm thinking about the Terminator joint.
Yeah, I don't want to confuse him.
No. I know the Terminator joint, but the other RoboCop is because he has the one where he blows you up. So what's the other one? Because he has two. That's what I'm saying. That has to be the one. That has to be the one where he like shoots your shit off.
I felt like that was a throw brutality, but I don't know. Correct us in the comments, all you expert Mortal Kombat players. Shout out to RoboCop, who's super fun in that game. He sucked, but then they fixed him, which is kind of fun.
I mean, look, for me, he's always been good money. People complain about him being slow, but he's not slow. He's just a long-range projectile character.
And he's okay up close.
And shit, Terminator's slow too, but Terminator has way more grapples and
he's one of the best characters in the game. They said the same thing about Terminator, that he wasn't good at first, and look where we're at now.
Listen, depending on once you get the right combination of maneuvers and your moveset together, bro, everybody in that game is unbeatable. Depending on how you put your shit together, man.
Yeah. I love that game. Can't wait for Mortal Kombat 1. It's gonna be some heat.
I mean, shout out
to Mortal Kombat 1. Can't wait to play as Kenshi. He looking cool.
Shout out to, I guess, middle-aged Johnny Cage. They doing all this weird Johnny Cage shit. I'm with it, but I'm with it only because they should have never killed that nigga. But whatever.
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat was a wild story back then.
And not for nothing, I understand that because out of everybody you could have killed, he did make sense. But whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Anyway, we're not here for fatalities, ladies and gentlemen. That was a cool little Mortal Kombat segue, though. Stay tuned for maybe more episodes about Mortal Kombat. Maybe another rant when they make that bum-ass second movie, and it's going to suck ass because they keep continuing to have Cole in it in his magic sweater. But until then,
Gucci sweater at the end of the world.
Oh, maybe that'll be the title.
No.
Nah, it's too cool. That's cool. Too cool.
No. And I mean, that should have been done way back.
It might be fake ass Scorpion at the end of the world or some shit.
Poochie sweater at the end of the world.
Maybe. One thing I am glad about to close that loop is I'm glad that they didn't cast The Miz as Johnny Cage, which was the rumor for a while there.
But has that been confirmed?
Yeah, pretty much. I think they cast a guy. I couldn't tell you who that is, but.
And you know what? I'm glad. It doesn't matter who. And again, bro, that's what fucked me up. And I'm pretty sure I said this during that that was your rant, but that whole Mortal Kombat rant. When I saw the dude that played Cole, son, in my mind, that was Johnny Cage. Because he has the right amount of, he's good looking. He has, if you've seen him in, other projects, what was that shit? I forgot, Warriors, or whatever that Netflix shit was, son. With dude from The Raid that he directed.
Yeah. God, I can't think of it right now.
He was in that, and he was in like a couple different things that I saw. So I already had liked his work, and his actual name, it eludes me right now. But as soon as I saw him, I was like, yeah, that's Johnny Cage right there, bro. He has the look, the swag. He has the right amount of comedic presence to where he could be Johnny, but he could be funny, but he could still be cool. But then they give him this weak ass character, son.
Yeah, who is lame the whole movie, and then they expect you to somehow care about him. And I get it, it's the underdog trope or whatever, and the hero's journey, but it sucked so bad that I didn't even.
Bro, you have characters already in Mortal Kombat.
Kung Lao was so cool, and I don't want to do a rehash of this because I will get sucked in.
But you have underdog characters that have already been created for Mortal Kombat.
And in the movie, you had Liu Kang.
You don't need anybody, bro. You don't need to create nobody, bro.
We already feel bad for Scorpion. We saw his family murdered in the beginning of the movie.
And again, they fucked that story up, bro.
They did.
Scorpion's Revenge. For those of you that haven't seen that animated version, check that one out. Actually, all three of them. Scorpion's Revenge. The second one is Battle of the Realms. And then the last one is the one about who was that? Kenshi?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenshi and old Sub-Zero / old not Quan Chi, the second Sub-Zero, Kuai Liang.
Kuai Liang.
Yeah. So it's old. And basically he's He's Kenshi's mentor basically, and it shows you basically the origins of Kenshi, and that one is when you got the weird cyborg. Well, he kind of is already a cyborg, but the weird like cyborg god like fucking Kano, which is an interesting story. One I never really knew too much about, but we're not here to talk about Mortal Kombat.
Nope. But we're here to talk about some competence. That's a great segue.
Those who got them things on them, and those who
like to slang them things.
No. Those who had them things on them, and those who like to have those things on them.
Yeah. So we figured we'd do kind of like a palate cleanser from the postseason. Shout out to the Nuggets. I gotta do it a little bit for winning. Gotta gloat because I was right. I love being right. Except I will admit that I was wrong about Michael Porter Jr. Shout out to him. Y'all were smart for not trading him because y'all would have lost without him. So
I don't know about that, but
it would have been harder, I think. He showed up.
Well, that's a different discussion.
He showed up when he needed to show up. Is basically anyway. But we're gonna talk about basketball, specifically
two names.
I guess you could argue the current spectacles of the league. And Ja Morant and one Zion Williamson.
Current spectacles, but they're
for the wrong reasons.
It's not they're spectacles because theoretically these are two dudes who we've been in like a real ill transition period, but because the league is younger, these transition periods take a little bit longer. Because back in the day, transition was like 2 years, but now it's like 4 or 5 years. And let's be real, the league won't really transition or shift over until LeBron leaves, so
yeah.
But regardless, two of the emerging would-be superstars. That's what we're here to talk about. I don't have a real legit name for Zion, but brother Zion and the one that's known as Ja Wick. They've well, first of all, you're talking about respectively, pick number 1 and number 2 of the 2019 NBA draft. Which, honestly, for me, definitely, that might have been like the last, like, quote unquote, like, big name draft. Even though neither one of them really did anything. Neither one of them really had legitimate, like, all right, Zion at Duke was all right, but that was a three-headed monster with him, RJ, and Cam Reddish. Now, to throw a knock on all three of them, one could say that with that amount of talent, that should have been at least a Final Four team, let alone a national championship winning team. But
definitely.
But, it is what it is. Look, Coach K did the best he could with what he was working with. Shout out to that man.
Hope you're enjoying retirement.
Duke won't ever be the same.
Yeah, finally.
Duke won't ever be the same.
He's probably still at home. He's going to be at home yelling. He tight.
Nah, fuck me.
With that angry Coach K face at the TV, like these motherfuckers.
He's still at games yelling.
Yeah.
But in the crowd.
So, yeah.
We have to start with Ja because
his antics have more repercussions. Not only for him, but for the league, for his team, for himself.
I would say slightly more, but all right. That's why we have to start with Ja, because what Zion is going through can easily be diminished, but that's based upon him and how he moves. And
can it though?
Yes.
Because
especially
when we talked about it, what was that? 3 episodes ago? I made the comparison to Gil, right? And they fucking fried Gil over that shit. They ended that man's career essentially over that gun shit.
No, that's why I say Zion shit will be a little bit more easier.
Oh, come back.
Yeah, Zion, not Ja.
I was confused. Okay.
No, we'll start with. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We will start with
Ja.
Ja.
The lighter of the offense.
We'll start with Ja because Well, that's the topic that needs to be discussed because.
Well, he's also arguably the more higher profile player because.
Well,
of
that
how,
and
how
his shit is a little
invested.
bit more relevant and not to mention
Unbelievable.
even beyond that.
Because Zion shit is kind of run of the mill. You know, it's kind of usual.
It is.
Athlete shit. You know.
It is, and again, only reason I'm starting with Ja's because the Zion shit is kind of just coming about. And look, let's be real, man. It's athlete shit, bro. Or it's whatever you want to call it, but not even athlete shit. Any dude with any type of influence and or money, son. But we'll talk about Ja because. A couple of weeks ago, right before, as the finals were starting, Adam Silver was asked about the Ja Wick situation, and he was like, we'll wait until after that. But he also alluded and brought up the fact that some new information had come across to them. He didn't really, dive into what that information was exactly, but at the same time, there was a, I believe it was on First Take. Yeah, it was on First Take with when your man Woj, Big Woj came through, and he did what he was supposed to do, but he alluded to like a little bit more than Adam Silver when Stephen A. had asked him about Adam Silver bringing up that situation or just him being like, yo, new information had been brought in. And while like real like details have been left out for obvious reasons, Ja Morant has apparently been under investigation for the last year, son, in Memphis about various different things, son.
Well, when the first gun thing came out, that's when you started hearing about, oh, he pressed this kid, and he did this and he did that. So clearly, some things were already.
No, it was that. Then it was the red laser situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so off the rip, bro. Even though there wasn't like any gun seen, that's Ja Morant's name being involved in 2 quote unquote gun related incidents. Even though there was no gun actually seen.
Yeah, of a threatening nature, specifically. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Nothing.
Or what could be conceived
nothing crazy.
as a threat,
Yeah,
depending on who it is.
Nothing crazy, but again, where there's smoke, there's fire. And clearly the resume is being built, and this dude isn't really doing anything to help that. And that's what we get to where it comes to the 25-game suspension.
I thought it was 23.
No, it's 25.
Okay.
It's 25, but it's 25 with a boatload of stipulations, which I'm cool with because remember that day when that shit came in, I hit you like, nah, that shit is a little too lenient for me.
It was a slap on the wrist. Like,
just like that first 8-game suspension, but that I can understand.
That made sense as we talked about previously.
Yeah.
You want that man in the postseason. You need him to be in the postseason.
But even it still should have probably been about 10 games, but whatever.
No, they need him to knock some of that rust off.
Yeah.
And for the team to get their chemistry back.
Because look, 25 games for the first gun appearance, that would have been too much. But now, 25 again to me was a little lenient. But again, I said that before knowing like the true ins and outs of that well, it's not a contract, but that situation. It's very latent clause in regards to Ja coming back, son. And I'm all the way with that because that's I appreciate that because that's Adam Silver. David Stern would have been like, nah,
I'm taking the season.
Again,
took the season.
For me, that'd have been a little too much.
He would have took the season. You know he would have took the season.
Well, let me not say it would have been too much.
Yeah, it would have been.
No, I wouldn't have argued
two
it.
times. Nah, it wouldn't have been too much.
I wouldn't have argued it because
the first time definitely too much. Like,
people keep bringing up simply just the gun situation because that's the visual.
Yeah.
Now again, I'm not against a whole season because of the pattern of behaviors that he's clearly aware of.
That's why I said the second time.
Yeah, second time.
Besides
second
the
time,
other things
not
that were
first
coming
time,
up.
Second time, yeah. Because all right, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Whether I'm a commissioner or not, son, anybody I'm trying to have a real honest conversation with on some like, yo, I'm here for you, and I'm like, I see you going a certain way.
I'm genuinely concerned about you. It's not even about what your value is. No. And I'm sure all that comes into play.
It has to, but we're talking about the person.
But you're my employee, and I don't want to break it down to just a boss and an employee, but you're my employee. I actually care about you. Not just because you represent the league and all that shit, but are you good, my guy? Like, that's the tone that Adam Silver seemed to be approaching it with. You know, again, David Stern would have been ruthless. You don't get
those types of meetings and those types of interactions with the commissioner of the league.
Much less having the commissioner talk openly about it.
If you're not of a certain, or if he doesn't see you as a, somebody that can help him not only carry the league, but take it to another fucking realm, bro. Now, for me, I don't know if Ja is that. Because for me, I feel like Ja, like, just the fact that he could dunk on niggas and, him having the dreads and...
He's the new hotness. He's
the new hotness of this era, but
he also...
For me, Ja isn't somebody that transcends.
But he also...
Zion is, but we'll get to him later.
He also, Ja, represents...
he represents today's culture, bro.
That's what I was gonna say. You talked about transition. I guess that's the theme of this episode.
Not transition, but transitional players.
That's what I'm saying. And periods. So
or those who transcend. All right. For instance, I asked you the question the other night about, or not even asked you. We were talking about D. Rodman at his apex being a bigger star than both Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
Which is a true fact. At his apex, there's not too many people that can touch him.
He crossed over.
Just as an athlete, not even just basketball players.
Yeah.
Shaq was a character who transcended basketball because he was a character.
And because of how he looks, let's face it, if he was 6'9", even if he had all the same accolades. I
don't know, 6'9", that's still pretty big. If he was like if he was our height,
but
like
again,
6'4", 6'5".
What they show, the timeless images of Shaq that we see, is Gorilla Shaq in L.A., the biggest he ever was. That's what people remember. The dynasty.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. The basketball fan.
That's what
the casual fan remembers Orlando Shaq.
Yeah, or
because
of
Pepsi,
just how much of a clown he is now. But
look, again, that's.
But when they play the highlights,
yeah,
that you see that dunk when he running down the court.
Vintage Shaq.
The pointing
real,
dunk.
No, Shaq at his.
That's his apex, bro. Like.
No. For me, that's his basketball apex.
Yeah.
His basketball
apex.
And that's the irony because his brand was already, like I said, already built in Orlando.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, that's two different discussions. Because, again, Shaq in Orlando and Shaq in L.A., that's two different entities.
But to your point, given the larger-than-life, no pun intended, larger-than-life character that he is,
yes,
the fact that he still does not transcend what dudes do today, or even, D. Rodman in their era, says a lot. And this is a guy who loves attention. He loves that shit. He lives for that clown shit. So,
Shaq's problem, I don't want to say this, but Shaq's problem is he fell too much into like that original Magic blueprint where he was like too many places. Now
he also wanted to be
no, but look, I'm saying like had he was doing that while he was still playing, which is what fucked him up. And I don't want to say it fucked him up, but
yes and no. Did you really need to make steel during, while you were ascending towards your prime? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Bron waited till at least...
No. If we're talking about that one movie, yes.
For him, I get the personal reason. I'm just saying that took a, that's that...
John Henry Irons, they said that he is Shaq, son. They literally said, like the dude that they created, that was Shaq from
he's the
Orlando.
Model. Yeah.
So, if we're talking that one movie, yes. Shaq's other movies? Well, no. Okay. Still in Blue Chips. Those are the only two movies he should have made.
And Shaq Fu. Don't make Shaq Fu. But
No, I mean Shaq Fu. Shaq Fu for when it came out.
Nah, that shit was even bad when it came out, bro. which tells you something.
All right, you're a little bit older than me, but at the same time, it's like...
Nah, like, we had Mortal Kombat already. We had Street Fighter already.
Shaq Fu for the culture.
Tekken technically wasn't that far away. I feel that point.
Shaq Fu for the culture, and that's why I say for that time.
The fact that he had his game and it wasn't a basketball game, that was awesome. That was a big deal.
To your credit, I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably, if I had like an old school Super Nintendo right now, I would buy the Jordan game before Shaq Fu, just because it had a little bit more to it.
Word, you're not buying that Barkley Shut Up and Jam? Not with it? Not with it that Bulls versus Blazers? Bulls versus Blazers is only Genesis.
Because again, those are basketball games.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm talking about the
games.
The outside of basketball, something outside of basketball games.
Yeah.
I mean, and even the Jordan game, because you remember, like, actually, now that I think about it, that game was way much more fun because, like you had it was like a real level game, but remember you would have like different hoops that you would have to dunk on, and this nigga would get his power ups.
Yeah, and you have to find them.
Yeah,
which was cool. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Again, I did not like Michael Jordan, but I still played the Jordan game.
Shout out to that, and shout out to the Bruce Lee game, the Dragon, son.
Yep. Damn, all these are around the same time.
That was a fighting game
There's all like 94, 95.
Yeah.
So, to go back to the discussion, and we kind of touched on this as I keep referencing a couple episodes when we first talked about it. Now that we have the suspension handed down, like, how do you really feel about this? Because, again, perception is hilarious about this. Yeah, we got the memes and all that, but... is it really worth 25 games? Like, what did he really do?
Yes.
The second time, because you're daring your boss, basically, to do something to you.
Yeah.
And as someone who has dared their bosses to do something to them, wildin', I get it. I couldn't even be mad at them for trying to come down on me because I was wildin'. Right. And it didn't matter that they did what they did before. I got to be professional and just hold that.
Yeah.
So... there's two viewpoints about that. Like, do you be professional and just hold that? Or do you be who you be, a young, 24-year-old kid? Like, 23-year-old kid? You know what I'm saying? Just, he's a millionaire. These guys do dumb shit. Like we talked about before. I guess that might be the title of this episode, right? Dumb athlete shit at the end of the world. Like, these are young millionaires. Imagine you gave me and you money at fucking 23, like millions of dollars. Like, we would have been wilding, bro.
Oh, no.
Wow, I don't know if I'm flashing guns, on camera, but I'm going to definitely have the strap. So.
Of course. And again, bro, like.
Now that things is kind of shaking out a little bit, like, how do you really feel about this shit? In terms of how he is perceived, how he should be perceived, what should happen going forward? Because you referenced that earlier in the episode. What should come of this? And I guess that'll be the same question for Zion. But again, because of what he's doing is kind of a lesser thing, what should come of this? Besides, again, the obvious suspension, What is the aftermath? What is...
Right now, I don't care about perception.
I'm going to start asking questions. I have a bunch of questions.
No. It's just... No, you asked all the right questions. Right now, I don't care about perception if I'm Ja, if I'm the Grizzlies, if I'm the league. Once again, what I care about...
the league cares about that.
They have to care about that. But at the same time, before they care about perception, but that's after we figure out what's going on with the man. And like I said, that's why I have to commend Adam Silver for, again, him being much more modern than David Stern would have been.
Much more understanding.
Yeah, because again, like you said earlier, David Stern would have had him been out for the whole season.
No, it'd been a wrap.
I wouldn't have did that.
They would have buried this man.
For me,
hard.
For me, half the season, no stipulations. But it is what it is. All of this really relies on Ja Wick, son. So I can sit here and be like, yeah, you know what? The league should have did this. The Grizzlies should have done this. But at the same time, And this is partially why I said I would have given him half the season, or not half the season, but I would have made sure he came back after the trade deadline. That way they can't make no moves, and whatever you have to work with, that's what you got. And then if y'all make a push, then cool, so be it.
Then it was meant to be.
That helps me. That helps me as the commish. Right here in Bushwick, New York. But no, ultimately, look. Ja has to look himself in the mirror. The Grizzlies have to look themselves in the mirror, both upper management, franchise, and the actual team. Because the way things were handled, and again, I can understand. And here's where, like, I don't want to say where AI kind of fucked the league up, but the way the Sixers handled him kind of fucked the league up. Because now that's still there. And it's like, all right, they're going to hide some shit. They're not going to talk about it. Memphis isn't a big, Memphis was a big territory, but at one point, but bless.
Thank you.
But it's not a big market. But ever since the Grizzlies moved from Vancouver, they have been one of those teams that people just generally like, bro. I don't know if that's because of Memphis or whatever, but like people just generally enjoy watching the Memphis Grizzlies.
I think also people want to see them succeed. They want to see want to see a small market, quote unquote team succeed.
And you know what?
And they don't really. There's not too many of the small market teams that are good enough.
Some of that had to do with some of the players they had back in the heyday. The biggest one I can name is Big Country, because even though they were still Vancouver back then, Big Country clearly was like the all-American player. So
yeah, people still reference him like he had an impact, and it was just so weird. For new teams.
Oh, no. Well, I don't want to cut you off, but Big Country in this era is averaging 30 and 15. Easy.
Maybe.
No, easy, bro. Because he was one of the first pick and pop that really picked and popped.
Yeah,
but he could hit you in the post. He could rebound and play D.
Not that fast, though. It's a problem.
Doesn't matter. All right, bro. Joker isn't that fast. Joel isn't that fast.
And they play great D. That's true.
And realistically, like I said, if we're talking pick and roll, I'm taking Big Country over both of them, son. Like just straight pick and roll, pick and pop. Now, Joker can run that pick and roll, and I don't even want to talk about a pick and roll between him and Big Country, because I don't know how you stop that in any fucking era, son. Him and Big Country, where Joker is the point guard, and they both can shoot. But that's the Nuggets in I don't know what multiverse that would be.
What era? Yeah, that happens in. But
I guess that's the universe where Hillary Clinton is president.
Exactly. One where
I won't say Michelle because that universe has to be a little swaggier. Matter of fact, that universe where Michelle Obama is president, that's where you have Jordan in the Dream.
Exactly like it was supposed to be.
Woo-hoo!
So yeah, it's an interesting answer that you have, because I feel like, as always, I talk about perception on these episodes all the time, and just hearing the way that people talk about this situation and about Ja is, one, hilarious. Yes, again, the memes, but it speaks to, again, like if he was white. Like, how would they feel about this? We talked about this, I think, off camera. Or I may have talked about it in the episode where we brought it up. But again, we have...
we have senators... Are you talking about him being white, being in a car with guns, listening to NBA Youngboy? Because of... All right. No.
Same guy.
He gets the same treatment.
He's the same guy.
These days, he gets the same treatment. 10 years ago, no. But now he gets the same treatment.
I'm not so sure.
Yes, he does. Now, all right, you're not sure because you're thinking about a white dude if he's not a superstar or a budding superstar in the league.
Well, I'm also thinking about
right now you're thinking about Tyler Hero. I get it.
Actually, yeah.
I get it.
That's a great.
I get it.
That's a great example.
I get it.
Actually, yes, that's exactly.
Tyler Hero
was
is not seen, just like Chris Kaman back in the day. He was not seen as a superstar in the league, so therefore, there aren't as many eyes on him.
You're right.
Now, there are more eyes on Tyler Hero because of two things: him being Tyler Hero, him having that swag, and him playing for fucking Miami. So if Tyler Hero,
and him being the other guy on the team with any real character besides Jimmy. So they're gonna follow him.
No. Tyler Hero has.
We ain't seeing Duncan Robinson
Tyler
on TV.
Hero has
you know
the biggest personality on Miami.
That's what I'm saying. We ain't seeing Bam on TV like that.
But to your point, if Tyler Hero was riding around in Miami, shit, I don't know who the most gangster rapper in Miami is right now, but if he was riding around in Miami with some guns, and then he would get the same fucking treatment, son. He would. Now, that's both because of him having some part of a name, but also the market that he's in. Now, if Tyler Hero's doing that shit somewhere in Oklahoma,
that's the point I made before. Like, people flipped shit, and I was just like, it's not even illegal. I could see if he broke the law. Like, waving guns, like, he didn't even break the law. Like, so what's the issue?
The issue is he got caught twice on video with guns.
Again, twice. Second time second time you're daring him again. Whether it's a toy or not, whatever the secret
and the first time was in the strip club.
Yeah, and even that first time, he having a good time.
Yeah.
He drunk, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, like, he's with his mans. That's mostly what it is. He's with his mans. They being young niggas.
Yeah, lame niggas. Not little niggas, lame niggas.
Lame niggas.
If
I'm in the league, again, as you mentioned, a couple minutes ago, Adam Silver, I felt, took that approach. He was like, all right, you wildin'. I've seen you guys so
Adam
many
Silver
times,
he handled that shit the right way the first time.
Yeah, he kept it cool. He's like, I'm not gonna, because everybody else buried this man. He's like, nah, we're gonna find shit out. We're gonna talk to him. We're gonna see what it is.
Yes.
So again, I feel I'm less forgiving of the second time because then you smile in the video, you daring him. First of all, I give credit to people getting on his man. I was like, don't put this nigga up on live. Not when shit is still hot anyway. Like, don't do that. And I get that these guys are products of their time. You're gonna go live. You're gonna be on social media. You're gonna do all that shit.
Yeah, that's a bullshit excuse. Cause not like.
Don't be stupid.
It doesn't matter what time you're talking about, bro. If
we know plenty of athletes who are on social media, not to cut you off, and they are way more discreet than that, and they're crazy, some of them, and they're still way more discreet than that.
Real G's moving silence.
Niggas who's hanging out with Lil Baby and shit. Like, yeah, we hear about James Harden, but we don't hear about the shit he do. We just know where he goes.
First of all, that's because James Harden. We
just know who he's chilling with.
All right, and not to.
Or like we was talking about before the broadcast, Steph Curry. We hear about him. We don't know what he does. You don't really hear nothing about
Steph is a button-up dude, son. And, that's because...
Well, I'm just talking about in the realm of players who are the faces of the league.
But you bringing Steph up is a great point because there's something to be said about somebody that's been around the league since they were a child.
On camera. On top of
even
that.
Beyond that.
He's a little kid. Again, he's there with Dell. He's like, I'm gonna play in the league, all that shit.
He grew up in the life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So none of this shit is new to him. And even beyond that, and we were talking about that, before the cast, he's the anchor foundation and main protagonist for the most underdog quote unquote dynasty that has ever existed, son. The most unlikely fucking superstar. Now again, I won't call him that because I watched that man in college, but because of injuries and niggas really fronting on him. And keep it real, the Warriors, before Bob Myers really took over, the Warriors weren't shit. So
yeah, you had someone who was devoted.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Me just saying all that, son. I'm not saying that he's top 5, but that does create a resume for Steph being top 5 all time, son.
Yeah.
When you talk about shit, the Last Dance, the Bulls team winning the championship with not their whole management team, but the dude that's really running shit being against not your whole team, but your the foundation. He's trying to break the foundation of your team, and they still win a fucking championship. I don't want to say it, but LeBron would have never done that. LeBron would have just left.
Yeah. It was like, oh, I'm just going to see my friends like somewhere in the league and figure it out.
You know what? Nobody will blame LeBron. If LeBron would have stayed for like 3 more years than left, I don't want to say his legacy would be better, but it would be way more respected than it is now. Because at this point, son, LeBron is acting like, I don't want to say it, but LeBron's friends are acting like he's Scottie Pippen, son.
Oh, you're Scottie again.
And no, bro, because first of all, that's bullshit because Savannah won't ever leave LeBron, son.
Nah, she knows better.
Savannah is A1, son. Savannah is A1. That's why you never hear about shit about Savannah unless she chooses. That's GOAT status. She could do all these interviews if she wanted to because she's the wife of LeBron fucking James. Meanwhile, and we approaching too long, so I won't even talk about Aisha, but she's acting very light-skinned right now. Even though she's with, not arguably, the best light-skinned motherfucker to ever step on the court. Son. Yeah, no. Hands down, son. She's with the ultimate light-skinned nigga, and she still doesn't appreciate that. But whatever. No. That's why I need, no. Steph, baby, get you a nice, listen, if you still want to go the light-skin route, get you like a nice light-skin West Indian joint, or go out to South Africa, baby. Get you a nice Vanessa Williams 2.0.
Yeah.
Or get you a Grant Hill's wife, Tamia. Get you one of those, bro. Like Aisha.
But she's the one for him. And again, if the rumors hold true, like
3 daughters and a son, but
they're open.
No. Now, she, for what we know, before Steph Curry was Steph Curry in regards to the mainstream situation, when his ankles were softer than fucking Scott tissue, I would like to think that Aisha she was there for him. I would like to think that. I don't know, but I would like to think that. Because for me, Steph Curry doesn't become Steph Curry unless he has like that kind of stability. Because that's the element he grew up in, bro. Like he's one of those, like me and you, like, you know, we didn't grow up with both parents. We didn't, you know what I mean? But he grew up in like that quote unquote traditional, you know, he had his moms, he had his pops.
Yeah, that nuclear family. Yeah.
So it's like, and I can understand that, bro. When you've been born and raised into that, your mindset is going to be different. Even though his pops was doing what he did, and I ain't gonna lie to you, that's probably why he chooses not to move the way most niggas would, because he's like, all right, my pops did that, and mom dukes.
So why not find the alternative? Like, even if the meme is true, if she fuck other men, who cares? Like, if it works for them. And again, I get why people feel sour about it, because that's not a conventional thing, especially, again, for someone who is a face of the league.
But listen, you could tell that that's more her than Steph.
As far as we know.
Even though...
Because, once again, we don't know what he does.
We don't. Well, we don't. We don't.
We don't know nothing about what he does.
We don't.
Not even rumors. You don't hear anything about this man. Nothing. You hear rumors about Bron even. You don't hear rumors about Steph ever. Never. Besides that open relationship shit. That's the only one.
Yeah. And that's why that wasn't no news to me. But yeah. You know what? That shit deserves its own episode. If other things come out.
Yes, but it's a great segue to Zion, because the Ja stuff is pretty much, concluded for now. He said he's going to go away and atone, or whatever the fuck it is he's going to do, and get better. I hope he just basically, as we said off screen, trains his ass off and comes back and gets busy. Like
25 games ain't enough for that though.
No, but
that's why again I wouldn't have argued for a whole year because again, if we're being real, those individuals who realistically had way more dangerous, and he is in a dangerous situation, and that's why I don't appreciate where like some of these conversations are going. But there's been other individuals and players who've had way deeper situations who have had to have a whole year off.
Yeah.
And that's necessary, bro, because, again, Ja is only 23, bro. 4 or 5 months. You're not going to change. How can you? Your mindset isn't going to change. And, bro, the Malice in the Palace happened in 2004. Ron Artest, a.k.a. Metal World Peace, really didn't get his real true, like, psychological, like, breakthrough until, like, 08, 09. I feel like that when he got to, the Rockets, that was the beginning. Then when he got to the Lakers, shit, maybe LA had way more therapy than
even with the Kings. He showed a turnaround because he was just grateful to be given another chance. Because the way it was looking,
yes.
Because people drew this comparison between him and Ja.
Shit was over for him.
It was over.
Like, shit was over for him.
He was gonna go
but
rap.
Then he carried that team.
Yeah, he was gonna go rap, and that was it.
Yeah.
And
but then he carried that team, showed that he was the best player. He may have been. Well, Braun was around, but he may have been like the second best power forward in the league at that point, son. Well, not power forward, small forward.
Yeah. So
Zion.
He played his way back into redemption, so Ja could do that.
No, he played his way back into a championship.
Yep. Well, again, he and I guess that's how we'll tie this up. It seems like from the outside looking in, because I don't know this nigga, it seems like Ja's priority is to be clownish and daring the league to punish him for shit because he's on top of the world right now.
No. He's doing shit that...
I get it because you're young. I do.
Even beyond that, he's doing shit that he could play around with before in his small town in South Carolina.
Definitely. He also knows that, as we've also talked about.
Again, him going to Memphis, it did fuck things up because if you move him to Denver or Utah, where his mans can't really follow him,
yeah,
it's a different story. Yeah. But Memphis and South Carolina, that's like what, like a 6-hour drive? No. Probably a little bit longer than that. Probably like 10 hours and 14 hours, but...
Yeah. Or, again, for someone who could probably charter private planes, it's nothing.
we even talking before that. Before, like...
Yeah, but he was still heralded.
Fuck that. The money he has now still isn't the money that he should have, bro. This nigga has already lost right now. Just right now. By the time he comes back from his suspension, that's about 60 mil.
Yeah. That's not counting the 40 mil for not making the All-Star team?
For next season?
Last season. This season that just passed. He had 40 mil bonus if he made the All-Star team.
Are you talking All-Star team or All-NBA?
Sorry, All-NBA. I'm wrong. All-NBA
no.
Okay,
no. Okay,
yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. No. Yeah. That was 50 million.
Okay, so 50 mil gone.
So again,
so you're not even
50
counting the paychecks, game checks that he will miss. Those 25 game checks he'll miss.
No. Right. That's what we doing. Because that coming into this second year, that extension he signed, it was supposed to kick in now. So, all right. So again, and not making all NBA, that was the 50 mil. That's 50. It's amazing that this conversation has to continue after that. So, see, that's what I mean, bro. Like, this victimization shit, bro. Like, if he does what he's supposed to do, then all he loses from this season coming up is All right. So 50 mil, the Powerade deal went. No, Powerade and Nike. Excuse me. So that's anywhere from 15 to 20 mil. All right, so we're at 65 mil right now, at most. So let's just call that 60 million. 25 games. If he comes back during just that, he loses at least like 10.5 mil. So between the first gun charge and him coming back next season, that is 75 million fucking dollars, son. No. Meanwhile, niggas want to say he ain't do nothing wrong. But those are the same niggas that won't give him near nutter a piece of that 75 million.
Nope.
Now, look, if he would have missed all of next season, that would have been like 35 mil, son.
So almost 80 million, 90 million gone.
$10 million hurts. But he had lost 50 before he lost that 10. Hey, what? I need to talk about Zion now, because this money is starting to hurt me, son. Because I'm like, boy, that's. So we're talking about this man possibly, son. If he does not get his mind right, he may lose anywhere between $100 and $120 million, son.
Not counting the profits on the shoe deal, I guess.
No. Shoe deal is over. It's over. That's why I included. That's part of that 60.
Okay.
Nike and Powerade. I included that because he lost both of those. Even though Nike still included or dropped that ugly ass shoe, son. But I get why they did that. That wasn't his original shoe. I saw his original shoe. That was like it's that grizzly light blue shit. Those actually look better than the I forgot what they named them red and blue shits, but whatever. Yo,
all right.
It's crazy how all the old school sneakers these days are way better than all these little nigga shit, son. But
well, you know, they grew up in 2K.
and all these low tops, bro.
Create a
like,
shoe, man. That's where it comes from. Create a shoe.
Like, no. But meanwhile, Jordan still has the highest selling shoe.
And they still sell out when they do the retro shits.
Bro, and how many times have they done the retro, son?
A lot. Many, many times. As
a matter of fact, for me, they started doing the retros when I was in like 8th grade, so that's like 2001.
Wow.
Yeah, no, all right. Yeah, because that's when they re-released the Space Jams, which are the 11s, the patent leathers, and that's when I copped the original. That's the cool grays, but I had the for me those kind of all the whacker cool grays because they had them fucking green plastic bottoms, but them cool grays with the blue bottoms are. All right, now I'm getting to my sneaker shit. Pardon me.
Nostalgia.
No, not even nostalgia, bro. Like, we grew up in the best era. And I'm not saying that just to say that. We grew up in the best era because of the talent, the skill, the swag, the appeal, the culture. I am not a role model. All that shit, bro. Like, half the time these days, when you see a basketball player in a commercial, you know who the fuck he is. Meanwhile, the league is supposed to have like the highest exposure it's ever had. What's up with that?
And the most fans and the greatest reach.
No. Numbers show you that like fans are not watching basketball anymore because the product sucks. Because it's not basketball anymore. It's a bullshit game of 2K that two niggas that don't know how to play are playing, son.
Basically. Well, except for certain coaches.
It's the worst version of 2K you could possibly play, son. And that's what the game has become. And till this day, Michael Jordan still, like, his finals are still the most watched. But meanwhile, we have way more screens, we have way more cameras, we have way more platforms to watch.
And arguably, more dynamic players available.
Not arguably.
Yeah.
No. It's because honestly, for me, they were way, like, when you talk about dynamic, players are not more dynamic now. It's just the fucking recency biased based upon with the way the league is played. But bro, step back threes, like, that shit does not make the league better, bro.
Nah, it doesn't.
Especially when everybody. I was walking across. I walked past the park yesterday. I seen like an older dude and like two younger dudes, like one older dude on one court playing and two younger dudes playing on the other court, son. Everybody's just working on their step back, son. Like they little, like, you know, dribble, hesitate, and step back. I didn't see, like, one, all right, to his credit, one little dude that I saw, and shout out to him, son. I saw him try to, like, take it in the paint, one hesitate, and try to lay it up, you know, off the backboard on some regular shit, but. And I'm like, that's really what the game is now, bro. Meanwhile, like us, if you walk past the court back in the day, honestly, for us, we saw everything, bro. You saw dudes in the paint trying to get their shit off. You seen dudes with the J. You seen dudes, like, we saw, like, basketball, NBA basketball today sucks. And you're going to see that more and more when it comes to FIBA and the Olympics, because the Europeans and the foreigners, they understand that, bro. They understand, like, yo, our mode of basketball is way better than the NBA.
Oh, they know how to meld the two as well. They take elements of both.
Yeah.
You know?
But they still know, like, the best athletes and the, you know, quote unquote best players go to NBA.
God, that was a lot. So speaking of extra, well, I can't even call it extramarital because this nigga ain't married. But speaking of athletes and where their dicks be at, Zion Williamson. One Zion Williamson. If you're not on Twitter or you don't care about this shit, because it's kind of thinking about it as much as they blew it up, like, it's kind of easy to miss this shit. Like, you would hear more about his being injured or him being fat or whatever than this scandal, you know? If you could call it that. It's not even really a scandal, but and it's, I feel like it's only as prolific as it is because Moriah Mills just went as ham as she did. So I think they banned her, or they suspended her because she was going too ham. She was too bitter. I hope I don't hope that's not true. that's terrible. I hope that's not true.
No, it is. No. You know what? It's not, because, bro, she's like 7 to 8 years his fucking senior, and she's acting like a fucking she's acting like she's in the 8th grade, bro.
You promised.
Promise
You
what?
promised me. That's pretty much where her bones are at. You promised me. You promised me this and that. First of all, she dumb for expecting, what is he, 23?
I was about to say that, but listen, brother. That is a totally different podcast, and again, I would love to have a real female guest for that one.
Definitely.
A couple. I mean, like,
and I can totally understand it. She thought she was on.
No. I can understand it. No. Actually, I can't. I cannot understand that.
You know what it was with the scheme. Like, you know how it is when you're like.
Fuck that. Look, she's a fucking porn star, bro.
She thought she had this nigga. Forget what she does. She thought she had this nigga like these other girls got niggas in the past. She was celebrating in her victory because, again, he promised her. So she was taking. So she was doing the victory lap meanwhile Mans was chilling with the rest of the team. Like, I'm not even mad at him for that. Like,
the delusions of the sisterhood.
And to your point, like, she's a porn star, and this is not to denigrate her. It's to make that point because as a porn star, now having listened to shout out to No Jumper. Not that I really want to give them a shout out, but this is where I saw them. Because they have many porn stars on that platform and telling their stories about how they're perceived, the reactions they get, how they move through society, things like that, because of how they're perceived, like, and shit, even in their own industry, how they're perceived. You surprised
No.
that this nigga fronted on you?
No.
Really? And I get it. Again, mild defense here. I get it because she held him down when he was injured and when he wasn't as big or whatever. You know how it is. It's like, I was there for you when no one was, this and that, whatever, you know. But then comes the timeless phrase of, you weren't with him when he was shooting in the gym, son. Like, were you?
So, all right. Fair enough. If we're getting sentimental, all right, that's fair. But
I'll give her that much. That much.
if you weren't wifed up during that time, again, it's one thing if you were his day one.
Yeah. Or he already put a kid on you.
Luckily, he didn't. If you were his day one and you're not a porn star, I can understand. But if you're a porn star that just happens to be older than him and happens to be in a certain industry and happens to be quote unquote there for him, then no, I don't feel sorry for you. Because again, like, I can understand where the feelings come into place, but it's one thing if she was a retired porn star. And for what I understand, she's still active. So, now, should she retire because she's dealing with him? No, clearly because things went the way they went. But you can't have one without the other. Ma, you're clearly at least out there, a famous porn star that niggas know. Reggie Bush didn't want to stay with Kim Kardashian, and she was nowhere near being a porn star. And to her credit, she was really, like, trying to be, like, with somebody. Not on some, like, I'm fucking around type shit.
Yeah. And not in this kind of scenario because she already had money. She comes from money. Like, it's not even they were into each other. Like, it's different. You know what I'm saying? One is not bolstering the other.
I mean, yeah. I'm looking at it. Well, you know, either way, if you talk about just
what she cared about was popularity, like,
just being famous.
Yeah, she wanted, you know, she's a socialite. Like, I'm not mad at that. That's what you do. That's what you're about.
Yes. Don't complain about shit when it don't work out, bro.
But this scenario is different. And to go even further, like, as she was complaining, then came up all the, like, well, I got this girl on the side, and now I'm with her because I actually love her. And then a third girl apparently came up as well.
Yeah, it was a couple of them.
And it's funny because the memes kept being like, damn, Zion got a type because they all, like, thick as hell, light-skinned-ish. They all look similar.
All the joints he wasn't getting in South Carolina. I don't want to say it like that, but
clearly, like, they all really look the same. Like, the three of them. They have the same dimensions anyway.
Well, first of all,
and shout out to him for liking the thickies, man. Props to you.
Even within that type you just described, bro, like, that's like half of New Orleans. Not even half of New Orleans. That's half of Louisiana, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if there's an actual term for that because that's so part of that, but when you talk about the melting pot that is Louisiana, shit, even this sexy ass one that was on Undisputed, Jen. Well, yeah. There's a couple of Jens, but the last Jen, her sexy blonde, like, she was nice. So I'm like, all right, like, you talking about being light skinned in fucking, like, Louisiana is some, like, I don't even know why people bring that shit up, son.
Slave country, you know, colorism.
It is, but, like, no, even within that.
Deep South, you know.
Shout out to Mid South, but back when it was Mid South. But no, specifically Louisiana. You know, once you learn about shit and you really familiarize things in regards to down south, Louisiana has everything, son. Like I don't say everything, but the mix down there is some other shit.
It was a port, you know. Pirates were coming in and
big
out.
time, big
like,
time. That's what I'm saying.
There's all
like
types of shit going on over there.
and that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, you talking about motherfuckers being light skinned down there. It's like, no, Zion literally he got drafted to the wrong team. So.
Yeah, for if that's his weakness, then yeah.
Not even his weakness, bro. We're all gonna go after things we didn't grow up around, son.
Word.
That's going to happen, son. It just is. But you know.
So yeah, Moriah Mills. You know, in case you guys didn't get the context or you're not on Twitter like I am, the gist of it is that Moriah Mills had messages from Zion. She was like, you know, his main or whatever. He promised that he was gonna move her to New Orleans and like basically pay for her, all this shit, you know, usual arrangement, stuff like that. And
yeah, but again, she I don't know how old she is, but she's in
her 30s.
I heard that, but even if she's not, she's at least 29 going on 30, but
Nah, she in her 30s.
No, I heard she's like 31.
Yeah, she's older than this.
No, way older.
Older than this.
Way older.
I could even see 28. Like, all right.
Even then.
But
point is, it's like, yo, like, what are we really talking about?
You really this mad? And hey, as someone who is emotional and gets angry in Puerto Rican, I get that you got to get your shit off. I get that you was mad. I get that you wanted to lash out at him. I get all that.
What are you really talking about, man?
But come on, son. Like,
what are we really? Because again, even if he wasn't a basketball player, bro, if he was just like some dude that was from New Orleans,
and what
22 with bread,
what are you gonna get with him, son?
What are we talking about?
And what that shows me is there's this weird undercurrent of, you know, Brittany Renners, and I don't want to ascribe it to just her because at least she was honest about what she was doing.
And she's you know, she's trying to
yeah, she's trying to reflect and redeem herself.
Trying to reform, but
exactly, like, you know, she's young too. Like, again, people change. You know, niggas doing young dumb nigga shit. That's another theme of this episode.
We all change.
Young niggas doing young dumb nigga shit.
All
like,
change,
are you really gonna fucking hammer them over the head relentlessly? They acted like Josh shot somebody. They acted like Zion is out here with 7 kids. You know what I'm saying? They acting like he raped somebody. Like, some people, not everybody. The main consensus is just like, she's silly.
No. And again, the reason they should never be victimized is because there's a pattern of behaviors. It's not just a one and done situation. If Zion just cuts this shit off and moves on, cool. Ja has had a fucking pattern of fucking habits.
Yeah.
Brittany, I don't know how long she's had a... You can't just go through what you went through, say the shit you said, lead the fucking army that you led of these new wave of fucking crazy gold diggers, then be like, no.
I'm not responsible, or I didn't
No.
That was not my intent.
No, bro, because listen, bro. It took Mike Vick about 5 to 6 years for him to kind of get his image okay.
Yeah. And even then, niggas still hate this man over that dog shit. Still.
So I mean, and that's the problem with what these individuals.
Not even relevant no more. Like, they still hate him over that shit.
And that's what they need to understand, and that's what we understood. You're not gonna. Brittany Reiner cannot be in the limelight anymore. She has to be low key, and that's what she doesn't want to accept. And I get it, bro.
Well, devil's advocate, like you said, I get it. If dudes like Fresh and Fit or whatever, who she very masterfully took apart on their own show.
You know exactly why Shaq is fucking with her right now.
Nah, that's Hoops he's fucking with.
No, he's fucking with Brittany right now, nigga.
And I'm sorry, Hoops is who was Hoops seen with?
Shaq was Hoops when she was way back.
No, Hoops recently was seen with somebody. That's why I'm confusing them.
No.
No, you're right. It's her and Shaq.
Yeah.
No, I remember now. So
that was probably at one of his restaurants. Shout out to him for that, because you ain't gotta pay nothing.
Exactly, you just there. Get
but
her what she
even
wants.
within that, like, for me, like, that's Shaq. Like, it's too early to try to wife up Brittany, son. Because she has to learn certain things, and I don't want to say she has to take licks for that, but she's not good for anybody right now. At all, son. She's not going to be a good wife. She's not going to be a good girlfriend, bro, because she doesn't know how to be that. And why would she, bro?
Exactly. She's still living that young girl life. Like,
not even. She's trying to transition, but she doesn't know what it is to live that life because, bro, you can't be on one end of the spectrum and then totally go to the other end. That shit takes time.
Yeah. But to go back.
And that's my thing. Shaq isn't helping her with that because the reality is, like, her fucking with any type of ball player, any type of athlete, is not going to.
And we know what it is with Shaq, son. He liked to fuck, son. So it's not.
Which is fine.
It's not on some.
But that's
shit.
To my point. That's not gonna help her because
it's not on some. She's my girlfriend. Like, he taking her out. Like
that. That doesn't help her and where she is because
exactly.
She feels like he's that older nigga that's gonna cuff her up, which he isn't.
He's not. He's not. I'd be highly surprised if he did. And then I'd be like, you know what? Shout outs to you. You did it.
No, he's a jackass.
Shout out to you. You honed your game so well that you got a Hall of Famer, my nigga. Like, that deserves props. It really does. From PJ Washington to one of the greatest ever, son. That's elite. You know, that's
no,
really,
sir. Not me.
So, similar to Ja, what is the fallout of this? Because the reason we really bring this up is now, because of this embarrassment. That's really all this is an embarrassment. It's not a big deal, but what it is that it's the last straw because if you're fat, you're injury prone, you're wilding, and now you're doing this nigga shit like out in the open because you can't keep, you know, your hoes under NDAs or whatever it is that professionals do, and which I'm not going to pretend to know about, so don't come at me being like, you're not an athlete, you don't know. You're right, I don't. But again, if I'm a million, you give me millions of dollars and I'm young, I'm fucking all the porn stars. I get it. I'm doing it. You doing it, I'm doing it. Everybody listening is doing it.
We're not talking about him moving as an NBA player.
Ex-girl or ex-boy or ex-NB that you would fuck here. You're doing it. You're calling them up tomorrow if you got $7 million in the bank account.
Yes.
You're on the gram immediately. So get the fuck. That's what I don't get. The outrage about both situations. It's just like, y'all in that situation, you doing the same shit. Fuck out of here with that.
Well, nah. Once again, on one end, the situation is a pattern of behaviors that will lead, if not checked, will lead to one's demise.
One's demise
or
career demise.
On the other side, the other one is just mad naive, and he's just telling them what they want to hear without understanding that. Again, being young,
he's playing the game. The
I
game
get
is the game,
as you
right?
Should.
As they're always telling us.
As you should. But at the same time, there's something to be said about who you fucking with.
True indeed, but
it is.
But again, I'll give him some leeway because he's a young millionaire.
It's cool to fuck a porn star. It's cool to fuck a stripper, but the blueprints and the templates have already been created in regards to moving in that high-profile athlete life.
True.
And yet, dudes still choose to.
It's even easier now than it ever was.
Trying to tell you. And listen, bro, there are plenty of whatever you want to deal with, whomever. There are plenty of individuals out there that understand the
need for discretion
and the professionalism. And yet these dudes still choose to fuck with those who are going to fuck them over.
We only know one of those girls who fucked the Phoenix Suns in them bubble hotel rooms. And that's only because she told. That's it.
So, my last words to close this one out.
Wait. So the reason we had this in the first place is the trade situation. So
no, that's the next cast. That's next cast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, just to do a preview, what do you do? Because that's what I asked about with Ja. In this situation, what is the fallout?
With Ja, there's no trade situation.
No, but I'm talking about now that things have kind of the dust has settled, right? On these, what do you do going forward with these players? Because this is going to affect your team, especially since the Pelicans arguably are a contender. And can
I don't know about that. They're ways away. They're ways away.
Let me be a little more fair. They could take that next step right now.
The Grizzlies could be a contender, but
I would say they are already. Depending on whatever moves they're gonna make in the near future. But the fact that they can take it to the top teams and be as young as they are, and like really hold them down shows me they have it. So what are they gonna do with that?
No, I mean, listen,
And honestly, as we've seen, the real star is
writing is
the
on
real
the
star.
wall.
The real star is 3J. So what are you gonna do with that? So to wrap up the episode,
no, the writing is on the wall.
Yeah.
The writing is on the wall.
Who do you trade Ja?
You
for?
have to. You have
Who
to
do you
keep,
trade Zion for?
No, you have to keep Ja. You have to keep Ja.
No, that's integral. They are invested in his
have to.
redemption. Both the team, the league, all these corporations, they could drop the deals all they want.
No, I know. It's like
All
I
these
said.
guys want him to come back. We know what's good with him. With Zion, this is a fork in the road now.
No, it's easy. It's easy.
You know.
For me, it's easy.
What do you do?
We've been talking about it. Zion.
What do you do? Not specifically the Pelicans and the GMs and all that. What do? You have the book.
Realistically, I'm incorporating all of that.
Yeah.
Me, if I'm other, no. I send Zion to the Blazers for that number 2 pick.
3 pick.
Is it 3 or 2?
3.
3, yeah. Hornets.
The Hornets have number 2.
So Zion for that number 3 pick. Zion and I'm saying number 3 pick and Anthony Simons for Zion and your man
Herb Jones?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, Herb.
My
Man,
man Herb,
Man, Herb.
son.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God, he'd be great for the
Yes,
Blazers.
yeah. Keep it real, yeah.
He'd be great for the
I'll do
Blazers.
I'll do that, yeah.
Though the Pelicans were hurt because Herb he's a really good defender for them.
Well, the Pelicans don't know what they're doing in regardless, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Herb is good for them.
They're lost.
Yeah.
They're lost. But
they're a little. I just still think they have the potential because of the talent they have. They have talent.
But listen,
And,
no, I'm saying that.
And Zion could ruin this if they don't handle this in the right way. So that's why I'm asking, like, what do you do before we take it into a future episode?
If I'm the Pelicans and the Blazers are cool with that, which they probably will be because the Blazers clearly are not a good whatever.
He's saying they suck at making deals, y'all. He's trying to be nice. He said they whack. And they are.
They're great at drafting, but suck at everything else, son.
The best deals they made recently were for Jeremy Grant, who's a free agent, and Joe Ingles, which he didn't even stay there.
And Jeremy Grant is leaving.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah, no. Zion and CJ for the number 3 pick and Anthony.
That's equivalent value, you think?
Yeah. More because of CJ, honestly, but
Do the Pelicans then draft Scoot Henderson?
I mean, I don't know
Because they can't trade the pick.
I don't know who the Pelicans draft. They can do whatever they want with that, but
That's not a bad deal, though.
I mean, listen, if you want to talk about me being the Blazers GM, then that's a totally different situation.
I still think it's a good
I'm
deal.
a different mindset.
No, you reunite the duo that brought you so much success.
No.
And you
I
build
want
around that.
If specifically,
And I think that would make Dame happy. It's about
Specifically.
making Dame happy at this point. He's not going to leave.
if we're talking the Pelicans, then CJ has to be part of that. Especially if I'm giving that number 3 pick up. Yeah.
And honestly, as great as he's been playing for them, he's wasted on them. So they're
Now
not
again,
they're not going to go anywhere. Like
as we discussed earlier, if I'm the Blazers GM, the real trade I want to make is for that 3rd pick, I want CJ and Bi.
yeah, that's fantasy book. You know, it's not going to happen.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. You don't
They
know
would have
that.
to. We'd have to give up more.
You don't know that.
Like on
And
the
listen,
Blazers.
the Pelicans.
Well, let's lay it on the table because we looked at it in the trade machine.
the Pelicans
right?
are desperate.
The only
Pelicans are
tradable,
desperate.
both teams are desperate. The only tradable assets you have as the Blazers is Shaedon Sharp, the pick, Anthony Simons, and that's it. Everybody else is
and
locked
Nurkic,
in.
but
And
he's part
Nurkic,
of he's part of the package.
But they like him, so they don't have much to offer. The Blazers.
No, the biggest piece you have right now is that pick.
So you're asking for the 2 best players on the Pelicans for the potential to pick, and Anthony Simons, who's good, but not worth that.
No,
The Zion and
listen.
Herb, I get because Zion's value.
If you're
is
talking
diminished.
Anthony Simons and that pick, you're still getting value because you know what Anthony is already. You know he can give you 20 a night.
Yeah, but
So-
you're giving up your 2 best players. Your
Well,
2
again,
best
all right,
players.
your 2 best players, but your team isn't going anywhere at all.
True.
And the chemistry clearly isn't there because there never was any chemistry, so there's no team for you to break up.
Well, also Josh Hart really tied them together, and they done well. Our benefit here in New York, but you know, as we've talked about many times, they give a shit about the Saints and not the Pelicans, so it's never gonna. They're never gonna make.
Louisiana's a football
They're never
state,
gonna make
but,
good moves, but
no. They love them some basketball. No, LSU is known for their basketball because of various dudes before Shaq, then Shaq. And Chris Johnson.
The video
Chris Jackson,
you played earlier of that Julius Randle shit when he talked about it's mad love. When I talk to the New Yorkers, that's what it is out there.
Yeah.
The people love basketball.
Yeah, the media. Yeah, it's the media.
And the owners and the ownership, they are clueless. So if ultimately they're the ones making the moves.
Yes.
So that's why I gave you the book, because I can't trust them to make good deals. They haven't been making good deals. Except that CJ deal, that was a good deal. But
listen, I haven't had enough Pinier and I'm allergic to fucking. Well, I need a.
You can't eat jambalaya. You can't eat any of that.
No,
shit.
I can eat all that. It just can't be the real jambalaya or gumbo. I have no seafood, which sucks. I don't even want it then. But
that's what I'm saying. It's not the.
Well,
real
actually,
thing.
you know what? Shout out to my grandmom. She used to make a seafoodless gumbo, but again, I don't want gumbo with no fucking.
It's not.
If you have gumbo with no crab or no shrimp,
it's chilies. You might as well eat chili.
But with that said, listen, man, we this is a shorter one.
Nah, this is around our average. I like this. Hour and some change is good. This is it right here. This is a nice window right here.
Yeah, well, listen, we still working on little snippets for y'all, but
we are though. Stay tuned to one coming in some days. This is coming just after Gucci Flip Flops, which I released today.
Flops.
Go listen to that if you haven't already.
Yes.
Let them know where they can find you, fam.
Bandit _ light 7 on the gram. I believe I'm on Twitter, but I'm not. Or at least I don't be on there.
You're not active, you know.
No, I mean, well, clearly I get all the fucking alerts from niggas that I don't even fucking follow. Matter of fact, shout out to shit, what's her name, son? That cute, sexy joint from LSU. I keep getting her fucking alerts and forgot her fucking name. But you know what I'm talking. It's not Sky something. What is it? Whatever, the cute light-skinned joint from LSU. So.
Yeah.
I get too many fucking alerts from her ass, and even though I don't even think I'm following her, but
welcome to Twitter.
I mean, yeah, y'all.
Well,
at some point, y'all will see some light-skinned comments on Twitter. We'll just say that.
Oh, look at that. Light skin supplement to the Perfect Plex podcast account, which is me on Twitter. You can follow me at Shining Brizard. Send me your hate and your cat memes and your MILF porn stars that you're into that I don't know about.
Any type of somewhat clean thongs, not the smelly thongs, but the clean ones. And whatever illicit pics y'all want to send us from.
I gotta get a PO box for them thongs then.
Yeah. We don't. We'll get into the pictures we want pictures from, but I don't need no dick pics.
Yeah, I was about to say they gonna attack us with the dick,
so. I'm saying I'm just gotta say it. I don't.
You open up the floodgates.
No. Fuck the floodgates. There will be no Krakens released.
But yeah, we'll see y'all soon. With more kind of like rapid fire, like shorter deals, because it's easier to kind of do it that way given how our schedules go.
And we need more female guests.
Yeah, we're auditioning. Please let us know in the comments.
Y'all be bullshitting even though y'all be talking wild shit on our comments, but whatever.
You know, that's fine. We're used to that. We're used to
no. If you want to talk shit, you can talk shit here too.
You know, a lot of Larsas out there wilding.
I mean, I can use a Larsa in my life right now, son.
Word up. Oh, there you go.
Not trying to cuff them up, but
there you go. So any Larsas out there,
not trying to cuff y'all up.
The bandit is looking though.
If y'all mad at y'all Pippins, but y'all want to be Pippined,
yep.
Holla at me. Bandit _ light 7.
See him for a good light skin week or two.
No, good light skin weekend.
Even better.
As a matter of fact, I'm the master of those.
I think that's the title. Lightskin Weekend at the end of the world. I'm doing it. I'm booking it.
Yes,
It's
yes.
over. See you next time.